Police say an explosives-laden caravan discovered in January at Dural in Sydney's northwest was a fake terrorism plot with ties to organised crime. Miles Holbrook-Walk is at Waverley Court this morning. Good morning to you, Miles. These revelations are seismic. Tell us more about what the police said.
That's exactly right, Catherine. It was described as a fabrication, a fake, a complex criminal con job, all in the effort for criminal benefit. So exactly what have police detailed here? Well, a series of alleged anti-Semitic incidents carried out across Sydney, both late last year and early this year, largely not ideological. That is to say that the people carrying them out were doing so in the bid to try and assist others, perhaps police are alleging significant criminal figures, to reduce their own criminal sentences. They would exchange information about incidents they believe were taking place to the police, these heavy criminal figures, in exchange for not only changes to their sentences but also their broader criminal status, Catherine. We heard yesterday from police who spoke to this idea of the incident in Dural, and for those who don't remember, this was a caravan discovered on a road in a very quiet part of kind of semi-rural Sydney, almost really, where it was filled with explosives and anti-Semitic messaging, saying that from early on police had suspected, both at a federal and state level, they didn't think this was a legitimate plot to actually cause harm, instead that it could have been a fabrication. And here are some of the indicators as to why.
This was because of the information they already had, how easily the caravan was found, and how visible the explosives were in the caravan. Also, there was no detonator. Today, I can reveal that the caravan was never going to cause a mass casualty event, but instead was concocted by criminals who wanted to cause fear for personal benefit.
And already, Miles, we've seen some reaction to this matter, both from Jewish groups and from politicians. What's been said?
Yeah, let's start with the Jewish groups, Catherine. We've heard from a range already who speak about this idea that while the motivations of those allegedly responsible may not be anti-Semitic, it is unequivocal that putting Nazi insignia on a synagogue or attempting to set a synagogue on fire is an anti-Semitic act. So it's in some regards chilling comfort. There really isn't much, I suppose, it's hard to see how people can take much peace of mind knowing that these sites were still defaced and that the ways in which these Jewish sites were spoken about was still a troubling issue. And police admit that as well. We've also heard from the Jewish Council of Australia who say that this goes to an example to say that anti-Semitic incidents should not be weaponised and that people should, perhaps including politicians, react cautiously and judiciously when deciding how indeed to respond to these incidents, all the while acknowledging that the presence of Nazi insignia at synagogues in particular was a very troubling act. We've also heard from the Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke, who's taken real aim at opposition leader Peter Dutton and the way he characterised specifically the event in Dural and what he says was an unreasonable critique of the government's response to the Dural incident. Here's Tony Burke.
Mr Dutton, without seeking a briefing, simply asserted a large-scale planned terrorist attack.
And here at Waverley Court, where I am, Catherine, it's worth noting that just one of the 5 people charged yesterday will front Waverley Court, alleged to have been involved in the direction of several of the arson attacks that took place in Bondi late last year and early this year. He'll front court on those matters today for the first time. It is worth noting too, Catherine, that the person police believe has pulled the strings around organising and orchestrating a myriad of these incidents still hasn't been arrested, nor have they been charged.